So we've just finished a great evening, an evening with Warren Gatland. It was sponsored by Thomas International and Thomas Sport. I've got Warren Gatland on one side, I've got Martin Reed, the CEO of Thomas International, on the other side. My name's Redmond, and the question I'm going to ask, which is a little bit slanted towards what we do as in the industry, in your time playing rugby, was sort of psychology an important part of the game?
It's become very important recently in terms of getting to know the players and what makes people tick, and we've been involved ourselves, probably not been involved with someone like yourselves, but in terms of finding out the personalities of the players and personality profiles, and really finding out what makes, you know, what are the things that are key to them in terms of the coaches and the players, and trying to find the best mix about performance, really. And so that's really important for us.
So you see an important part of assessing players as a part of your whole training program.
Yeah, and I think that personality profiling is so important in terms of, because I suppose it's one medium, sport. You know, you get people who become brilliant at sport, and it's everyone talks about you know, other things in terms of, say, mathematics or science or whatever, but you can be a genius at sport. You know, in terms of visual awareness and spatial awareness and reaction and all that sort of stuff, but it's very hard to measure. So in terms of that profiling, and you get different personalities, and it can become, you know, essential for not just the individual about understanding what makes them tick, but also the people above them.
Fantastic. Now, Martin, the Thomas Sport really is the youngest part of the business. We obviously have Thomas Education, Thomas UK. How do you feel that it is contributing to the world of sport?
I think it's an interesting question, but I mean, for me, we've been around for a year. But we have 34 years of history around working with business people, and actually business and sport are kind of interrelated. I think the key thing for me is around psychology. I think 80–90% of the game, be it in golf or rugby or tennis, is in the head. And if we can get coaches to be working a lot closer together with the athlete and modifying their behaviour, the same within education, it's going to work.
Well, we started working with Thomas Sport nearly a year ago. I think the first time you came in and started talking about what you offer and how you look at a player's performance in the context of what's going on in their head. And we actually started looking at what that could bring the whole organisation, on and off the field, recognising that actually people in any walk of life can learn something about themselves by understanding themselves better. So we started with personality profiling for our players and for our staff, and a lot of that was done in team-based sessions, so that actually people started to learn stuff about each other, so it wasn't just an individual assessment. I think that was very valuable. In terms of the players, I've heard players talk about their own coaching needs, so the style in which they prefer to be coached. And I think actually without doing the profiling, we never got to that point actually. So it's a good shortcut to gaining a competitive advantage. And of course, everything that we do is about being at the top on the field.